uh, is not keen in the suburbs
Oh,
because how many African Americans are there fighting for for the opportunity? And uh, no matter where we are, we should get whatever it takes to give us quality education. We've seen it in Reverend Meeks's district out in Harvey.
yes, sir.
At one time, this was a fantastic school system until the racial quotas changed. And when the racial quotas became majority black, the money moved
Yes, sir.
to other suburbs to follow the children that had gone. And so uh, Reverend Senator Meeks is fighting to get money into education to bring Harvey, his schools in Harvey, back into the mainstream as they once were, because they're almost like a ghost town. When you walk through them today, the youngsters have airs of hopelessness
Yes, sir.
because the money is gone. But when the school was majority European, the
Yes.
money was there
Yes.
because the parents said that their children needed whatever it would take to get their children into the mainstream. I'm talking about programs like teaching teaching broadcasting skills,
Yes.
setting up television studios in high school.
Like Hyde Park from 63rd and Stony Island School I used to go to. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, but you see, when the money demands change because the racial quotas change, it's not necessary for us to have a fantastic program such as um, uh, broadcasting via television. And if we have it, it should not be as sophisticated
Yes, sir.
as it is for instance, Palos Heights,
Yes.
where the school, the system in Palos Heights has high definition equipment,
Wow.
and the kids in Harvey have some analog and some digital equipment.
Wow.
Well, but you see, if you were in Palos Heights, the
Yes.
money is there.
Why? You know what? That's true, but you know what? Why is there statistically? Why are there more young black? I'm not gonna say black people of color or females in the high school that graduate, and there's so many African Americans and Latino young men that drop out. Is it because there are not enough male teachers? There are no parents, no father at home, and a lot of the
Well,
what's and how
um,
do we deal with this?
um,
I went to
I'm
I
glad.
went
I'm
to a
glad you.
graduation and hey, the majority of them were females, and I
Okay.
scratching my head.
I'm. Um,
I went
I'm
to a
glad you.
graduation and hey, the majority of them were females, and I
Okay.
scratching my head.
I'm glad you told me that your program was a half-hour program because I'm used to an hour program.
Okay,
And just on that one question, we could spend an hour talking.
okay.
Me
I'm gonna have to have you
let me give
back
you
then. Okay.
let me give you some points. Point number one, it's because of who we are, our roots.
Yes.
We came from a nation where it was male dominated.
Okay.
And women were not educated as the boys were educated
Okay.
in the societies that we came from. That's point number one.
Yes,
Point
sir.
number two: when we were brought here, the majority realized that he needed to control the black man, and that the black man had a paternal, a father figured society. So he changed that focus to a woman dominated society. He put women in control over the man.
Okay.
Now, that's a point number two. Point number three is who goes to war, who fights wars in these United States? we don't have women on the battlefields.
Yes.
And so in the Second World War and in the police actions that we've had subsequent to the World War II, it's been our young men
Yes, sir.
who have lost their lives in battle, who've been injured, maimed, etc. And the women could go to school
Yes.
while the men went to war. In 1953, when I was at Indiana University, I became apprised of it. There were no more than 250 African Americans on campus.
Okay. Wow.
But at that time, and there were no more than 15,000 kids on campus. But the boys were fighting a war. I didn't fight because I had a deferment, because I was academically talented, and
Yes.
so they said if you keep your grades up, etc., you can get deferred. But those guys who couldn't get a deferment, who couldn't pass it, examinations, etc., had to go to war.
Okay.
But our women were at school. The men were all fighting the Korean War. So what did the women do? They went to school.
Okay.
And they got qualified for the better jobs today that our men are not qualified for because we didn't go to school.
Yes, sir.
And when we did get the opportunity to go to school, many of us achieved. Some of us achieved, but I'll tell you, it's a lot of frustration, especially when you see that it's a female-dominated society as far as the man has designed. If we go back to elementary school, he has designed a program not to teach boys, but to teach girls, because point one, girls mature faster than boys.
It's true.
And can you imagine a guy who's out jumping ditches, climbing trees, running down railroad tracks, sitting, cutting out paper dolls?
No.
Well, the girls are playing nurse and playing housemaker. And so these are the things they're doing. The boys don't want to do that.
But you know what? What is the overall solution to raise up the ratio of young men graduating? Because I see a lot of them hanging out on the streets, pants hung, down to their crotch. What is the solution?
Well, we've got to do some. We've got to go through some phenomenal changes as far as education is concerned.